Good morning, everyone. We will now begin the morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters, asking God and Meishu-sama to protect and bless us as we participate today in the construction of paradise on earth. Amatsu-Norito and Miroku Prayer. Please stand. Takahama ni kamuzumarimasu. Kamurogi kamuromi no mikoto mochite. Sumemi oya kamu izanagi no mikoto. Tsukushi no himuka no tachihana no. Odo no ahagi hara ni misogi harai. Tamo toki ni narimaseru. Harai dono kami tachi moro moro no agagoto tsumi kegareo. Harai tamae kiyome tamae tomaosu koto no yoshio. Amatsu kami kunitsu kami yao yorozu no kami tachi tomoni. Ame no fuchi koma no mimi furi tatete. Kikoshi mese to kashikomi mo maosu. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Miroku o mikami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Oshie miyoya nushi no kami mamori tamae saki hai tamae. Kamagara tamachi haimase. Kamagara tamachi haimase. Great God of light, creator and giver of all life, in accordance with your divine will, the long age of night draws to an end. Your radiant divine light, shining ever more brilliantly, awakens the dawn of the glorious age of light, a time long awaited by all humanity. We thank you for guiding us to your divine plan and for the privilege of channeling and receiving Johrei. May our spirits and bodies be illuminated and purified as we live your truth given to us by Meishu-sama. Make us pure and effective instruments of your divine light, so that we may serve you and all those with whom we come in contact. May paradise on earth be realized, with health, peace, and prosperity, a reality in our lives. Great God of light, Bless and protect us. Radiate our souls with your divine light, so that we may truly become instruments of your great will. Please be seated for group Johrei. May God and Meishu-sama bless you. Today's teaching is entitled Eternal Life. It's from the Inspirations, page 98. By repeating the process of birth and death, the human soul learns and grows until it attains eternal happiness. Those who preach the way, but have little understanding of life after death themselves, speak meaningless, empty words. Foolish are those who proclaim there is no God, for they do not realize how they themselves came into existence. In living in this world and passing through the gate of death, a human being sheds its clothing of flesh. The flesh belongs to this world and the spirit to the spiritual world. As a result of aging or illness, the physical body degenerates to the point where it is no longer serviceable, whereupon the spirit abandons this useless physical burden and goes to the spiritual world. There it must prepare for rebirth into this world. This preparation is purification. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining this morning service of the Miroku Association headquarters. In 1998, on 4th of July weekend, most precisely on the 3rd, I was house sitting in Colorado. Two members, they offered me their house. They were on vacation and said, look, you are doing missionary work here in the area. Why don't you stay in our home? I said, oh, that's great. I was there, and the only thing they asked me was to take care of the two dogs they had. I said, no problem. Was 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m., and then somebody knocked at the door. I thought, oh, strange. What is this? So I opened the door. Nobody was there. Maybe I thought, oh, okay, maybe it was my impression, or was a new house, a new home for me that I was staying. So 45 minutes later, again, I heard knocks on the door. Then open, nobody. And I started thinking, perhaps there are teenagers fooling around the neighborhood, who knows? Another 45 minutes, again. And this time the dogs began barking, so I opened the door. Nobody was there, and the lawn sprinkler somehow got activated. Even a jet of water came into my face. It was almost like wake up. So I couldn't sleep the whole night through. I decided to go to the Johrei Center. They had a Johrei Center, was in Denver, earlier than I would normally do. I said, okay, I lost sleep, let me be useful to the divine work. So I got to the center, and I heard a message in the answer machine, those days of answer machines with tapes. Call your family in Brazil urgently. I call, and my father had passed away. So when I asked for details, 2 o'clock in the morning in Denver was exactly 6 a.m. in Brazil, the time when he made his transition. So either my guardian angel, the spirit of my father himself, anyway, there was this urgent call for me to become aware. And because of that, I was able to, by miracle, take a flight from Denver to San Francisco, where I used to live, to get my passport, and then was able to travel to Brazil in time for the funeral. In Brazil, funerals, they have to be done maximum in 24 hours or whatnot. And I was able to attend, and the funeral was a great miracle. Once I told this experience to other ministers and to other people, there were quite a few that had similar things. When there was the time of a loved one, an ancestor who made a transition, there was a strange, or if you will, some kind of a sign or message that then later they could understand, oh, that's why that such a thing happened. Anyway, then I could enshrine my father, which is we strongly encourage you to enshrine your ancestors, and remembering enshrinement is commitment. Commitment we are making to them that we are going to honor certain anniversaries and certain anniversaries of transition. And for them, means participating in services at the sacred grounds. It's like a big party, a big celebration. So they are anxiously waiting for that. But we have to remember, when we don't, sometimes also we are going to receive a kind of message. One time at the New York Center, when we were at the New Yorker Hotel, a member came, Minister, I am having this strange migraine. I never have migraines. I feel there is something unusual. So, okay, let's sit here. Let me give you Johrei. Give her Johrei. Then we start talking. That dawned on me. I asked her, is this date related to anyone? An ancestor perhaps in your family? And then she paused. Oh my gosh, today is my mother's date of transition. And she had enshrined her mother, but forgot that a particular day where she could have offered an anniversary service. So the headache was that kind of message. Sometimes we are going to have dreams where the ancestors are reporting their needs, or this kind of physical, pain, or something out of the normal. So we can try to relate. Oh, okay, why this is happening? Oh, maybe there's a ancestor service that I could offer, and they will be very happy with that. Also today I want to share this faith experience. His name is Denis Costa, and this was shared today in Brazil, by the way. In 2017, my godmother told me that she had come across a method of channeling vital energy through her hands called Johrei. I found it interesting, but time passed, and with the rush of everyday life, I ended up not looking for it. In early 2020, I was dismissed from the company I worked for. I started to get anxious and worried about my future. At the same time, for a while, I wanted to know some philosophy or religion that could help me improve as a human being, something I could do to help others. I remember my godmother's conversation about Johrei and started searching on the internet. I found out there was a Johrei center near my home, and on that same day, I decided to visit. I was received with great warmth, received Johrei, and felt very good. I started to attend this center daily, and after a week, I met the center head. I told the minister what my goals were, and she explained to me the relationship with our ancestors, the three pillars of salvation, and the church's mission to realize paradise on earth. I became even more interested in this religion, and the next day, I started classes on our basic principles. Simultaneously, I began to read Meishu-sama's teachings. I learned that everything that is apparently bad is actually for our growth and learning, and that through dedications in the divine work, we receive light, to purify our spirit and raise the level of our ancestors in the spiritual realm. Each day, I was less anxious and happier. I was careful not to complain or criticize others, and express my gratitude for everything around me. I gained a new view of the world and started to live in a state of grace, understanding that everything happens in God's time. At the end of February last year, I was blessed to receive the sacred focal point, Ohikari. With the onset of the pandemic and social isolation, I began to channel Johrei to my fiancé on a daily basis, attend our online services, in addition to regularly reading Meishu-sama's teachings. In this moment of uncertainty that the world is facing, being a Johrei member made all the difference for me to remain calm and confident. In October 2020, I got a job and have been achieving financial stability. I thank God, Meishu-sama, and my ancestors for allowing me to find this church and through our practices of faith to walk the path of spiritual and personal growth. It was a very nice experience. I want to encourage you to write, to share your faith experiences so we could let others know what was your growth. How did you find Johrei? How Johrei is meaningful in your life? Sometimes you or some may wonder whether their faith experience is relevant enough. But interestingly, there are always someone that is facing the same kind of a situation or had the same kind of questions, so your faith experience can be very helpful. Thank you very much. Wish a very blessed day. With this concludes our morning service. Thank you.